Today we're diving into the blues shuffle rhythm and the blues shuffle lick, two absolute essentials to get you grooving like a true blues player. Now, learning this rhythm is really like layering the first bricks into your musical foundations, if I can use that analogy. And the thing is, it is repetitive, but it's never boring. Okay, it's never boring, because once you get the hang of it, and you'll hear it in tons of songs that you know and love. So let's get into it. So we're going to work within the classic 12-bar blues chord progression, the structure, and we're looking at it in the key of A major. So we'll be focusing on three chords: A major, D major and E major, but with a bit of a twist, because we won't be playing the full chords for this. We'll be playing just two notes, the root and fifth notes. And I'll explain more about what the hell that is as we go on. So the chords in A, we've got three chords, three major chords. We're not looking at minor chords, we're only looking at major. And the three major chords, as we said, are A, D and E. So those are the full versions of the chord. But for this, as I said, we're only going to be playing two notes. The first note is going to be the root note of each chord. And that's basically what that means is the bass note, the kind of the lowest note you can play. So for example, on the A major chord, the lowest note that you play is the fifth string, the open fifth string. On the D chord, the lowest note you really generally play, or the bass note, is the D string, the open fourth string. And for the E major chord, it's the low E string, right? That thickest string right here. So those are the root notes. Now the second note that we need is something that I said was the fifth note. And that's basically the fifth note of the scale. Now, let's not get too technical, right? So we've got A, B, C sharp, D and E. That's the fifth note for the A chord. So this is how we're going to play the A to get you started. So we're just using the first finger and we're playing the fifth string and the fourth string, the root note and the fifth note. And it's like that. Now for the D chord, so we're playing the open D string and we want the fifth note, which is D, E, F sharp, G, it's A. That's our fifth note of the scale of D. And so we've got these two notes that we're playing here. So the open string and the second fret of the G string. And that gives us our D chord. And for the E, well, we're back here. Here's our E chord. There's E, F sharp, G sharp, A, B, and that's the fifth note of that scale. So that gives us this here. And you'll notice that for each of these chords, we are using just the first finger. So for the A, like that. For the D, like so. And for E, like that. So just one finger and one open string. And even just playing that, you know, you gotta be quite honest. That is a sound and a half. That. Now that is beautiful. Even with the D, with the E, it's a great sound. And so that's the A. And if you compare that to the full A major, now that's nice and bright and clear. But this is kind of dark and dirty. And here's the full D, nice ringing out, but just like this, moody. And then you've got the E chord, that's nice, isn't it? But then, what we're going to use, like that. Isn't that an incredible sound? Now let's move on and talk about the shuffle rhythm. This is the first of three things that I want to look at here. So this is going to be the real basics of the shuffle rhythm, and I think this is where the magic happens for the blues. You know, it's all about getting a nice swing to your rhythm guitar playing, which is a lot different to just playing straight 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. That's very standard poppy type thing. But with the blues, we've got this swing type feel. So it's quite simple to learn. It's not really easy, but once you get it, it's incredibly satisfying to play it, and you'll never stop doing it. So, as I say, we're sticking to the 12-bar blues chord progression, and we're going to use this structure to follow and to play this rhythm. So let me show you how we do the rhythm. It goes like this here. So you've got the open A and your first finger on the 2nd fret of the D string, and that is an E note, and it's the 5th note of the scale. And we're only playing those 2 strings, and the rhythm, and it will be the same for all 3 chords, the rhythm goes like this. 1, a 2, a 3, a 4. 1, a 2, a 3, a 4. 1, a 2, a 3, a 4. 1, a 2, a 3, and 4. And you can start to hear that bluesy sound. Yeah, nice bit of swing. 1, a 2, a 3, a 4. 1, a 2, a 3, a 4. Now if we change it over to the D. 1, a 2, a 3, a 4. Sounding pretty good. Now back to A. And over to E. Back to A. It's a great rhythm, isn't it? It really just makes me feel I feel like getting down and dirty on this groove, you know. Because I actually could play this for hours and hours on end. As I said, it's incredibly satisfying. What I'm doing with my strumming hand, I'm just kind of keeping my hand close to the fretboard on this part here. So just like that. As I say, you can hear the strings ringing out. So let's try this together. We'll try this really slowly. We're going to go through the 12-bar blues progression, and I think this is probably the 2nd easiest version of the 12-bar blues. And we're in the key of A, and you can see we've got 4 bars of A, 2 bars of D, back to 2 bars of A, and then we have a bar of E, a bar of D, bar of A, and then a bar of E. I think in the easiest version of this, it will have, at the end, it will have 2 bars of A before repeating. But I like going to the E before going back to the A to repeat again. So let's play this together. Let's try going through this. We'll do it pretty slowly, just to get you, give you a chance to get used to this rhythm, especially if you're just starting out with it. And besides, blues is quite often played pretty slowly. Right. 1, a 2, a 3, a 4. 1, a 2, a 3, a 4. 1, 2, a 3, a 4. 1, a 2, a 3, a 4. 1, a 2, a 3 to D. 2, 3, 4. 1, a 2, a 3 to A. 1, a 2, 3. E, D, A, to E. Now I may have been playing this for many years, but I still make mistakes too. Now I think the most difficult part of this particular thing that we're doing, this rhythm, blues shuffle rhythm, is going from the E to the D, because it's quite a big jump there. It's quite a big jump. Yeah, we're going from E and the B string. jumping over the A and then starting on that D with the first finger on the second fret of the G string. So that's, I think, is the biggest, that could be the biggest problem you have in terms of changing chords. And the other thing is this rhythm. Now obviously you need to keep it in time, or as much in time as possible, because remember, you're the rhythm guitarist, right? You're the one holding pretty much everything together. So no pressure. So if you're backing somebody who's singing, you know, you don't want to be speeding up, slowing down, getting the rhythm all wrong. You want to kind of keep it as together as possible. So why don't you stop the video here for a moment and you know, go around the 12-bar blues chord progression in A. Just really focus on trying to get the rhythm. Because that, as I said, that is so important. But if you think you've got it, let's move on and let's talk about the shuffle lick, part 1. Let's add something a little extra, a little special, this shuffle lick. And this shuffle lick uses only one extra note. But it really is enough to give you a beautiful blues sound. So if we go back to the A, right, this is the A. And as I said, we're using the root note, which is the A, and the 5th note of the scale, which is this E. Now what we're going to use is the 6th note of the scale. It's a little bit theoretical here, just a little bit. And the 6th note of the scale, so we've gone A, B, C sharp, D, E, F sharp here. F sharp here is the 6th note of the scale. And what we're going to now do is this is going to be on the 2nd and 4th bars of the 12-bar progression. So we're going 1, and I'm using my 3rd finger and I'm fretting that 4th fret of the D string. And we're going to do that with all the other chords. Now, just a little word about, you know, stretching. Now, I've got pretty short fingers, and sometimes I find myself using my 4th finger because this is a little bit more comfortable at times, especially if I haven't really warmed up. So, you know, always, I think it's a really great idea before you start practicing, you know, do a few stretching exercises to get your fingers, you know, warmed up, because playing when you're cold, I don't recommend it. So we've got the A. What about the D? So as I said, we're going to play the same thing. So we're going to just hop over to here now. So we're playing the open D and the 2nd fret, but we're looking for the 6th note. So D, E, F sharp, G, A, B. B is the 6th note in the scale of D. So we're going to go like that. Back to A, to D. Now, doesn't that sound bluesy? So that's the A and the D. So what about the E major chord? How are we going to do it with the E major? Well, exactly the same. I'm sure you're getting it right now. So E, F sharp, G, A, B, that's the 5th. The 6th note is this one here, which is a C sharp. So we're going. And as I was saying earlier, a few moments ago, the stretch can be a bit difficult for me. So I often find myself using my 4th finger. It doesn't really matter which finger you use, whether you use the 3rd finger or the 4th finger. You know, use whatever is comfortable for you. Now, as I mentioned right at the start of this, you know, it's repetitive, isn't it? But not boring. Because once you get into this groove, you can just play forever. And it's that repetition is probably the most fantastic thing I've ever learned in my life. So let's have a crack at the 12-bar blues, the chord progression in A, doing it like this. So we'll be keeping that shuffle rhythm. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Keep that rhythm like that. And using this nice 6th note shuffle. Okay, 1. And as I said, we'll keep it pretty slow. We won't be going too fast. 1. Let me start that count again. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now it's really common in the blues to use 7th chords. And if you see the 12-bar on the screen right now, we've got an added 7th chord. It makes this shuffle lick sound even more incredible. So it's going to give us an even more bluesier sound. Have a listen to this. I'm going to play through the 12-bar with the 7th. 1, 2, 3, 4. And so I'm adding it mainly with the A chord, but also with the last 4 bars. So I'm going from E to D to A back to E. That's where I'm adding that little note. But the fact is, you could really add that note anywhere you liked. There's no real definitive way of where you should put that 7th note. It doesn't matter. But what exactly am I playing? So we've got, that was the original thing here with the A. Then we added the 6th note. Now we're adding a 7th. Now not E, A, B, C, D, E, F. Well, that's really the 7th note here, which is a G sharp note. But to make it bluesy, what they do is they flatten the note. So instead of playing G sharp, we're going down 1 fret, and we're playing, what is that, G? And that's the note that gives us the real bluesy note, bluesy sound. That one there. That there is so bluesy. And so this is what we do with this shuffle lick. Now definitely for me, I have to use this little finger here. And it wouldn't surprise me if you all have to, because it's pretty hard to try and get that 3rd finger there. I mean, that just looks ridiculous. So put your 4th finger there to give you that, excuse my strap, to give you that blues sound. So with the D major chord, the D chord, so we've got D, and the 5th note. We've got D and the 6th note. And now we're going to do exactly the same. Now this is our 7th note, our flattened 7th note, and that's a C note. This is what we do with this. Right, so, and again, that little finger is what you're going to use. So if we go over to the E major chord, it's a great sound. So E, F sharp, G sharp, A sharp, B, C sharp. Now, that's the 7th note. We're going to flatten it. And that's the note we want. And this note here is a D. So we've got E, E6, E7. So let's have a crack at this, shall we? How are you getting on with this? Are you finding this tricky? Are you finding this helpful? Let me know either way, whether you're feeling good about this or feeling bad about it. Let me know down in the comments. You know, I like to get your feedback. So here we go with the 12-bar blues in A using 7th chords. 1, a 2, a 3, a 4. 1, a 2, a 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2. And again. The shuffle lick and the shuffle rhythm, brilliant blues. Keep practicing, don't let it beat you, okay? Because this is one of the greatest things in the world. And if you want more practice, click the video right here. Thank you so much for joining me today. Happy blues shuffling.